Dana White was on the Full Send podcast recently, and it took place in the UFC War Room. While filming, some fights got leaked in the background. The one that had everybody talking was Kevin Holland versus Michael Venom Page. Kevin Holland responded to this whole ordeal and claims he was never even offered a fight, let alone MVP.
I haven't been offered any fights. That's what I'm going about. That's why everybody keeps hitting me up like, yo, Kev, your fight. I haven't been offered any fights, like, whatsoever. So it's like, but I'm too hood for my own good. They already know what the I'm gonna say.
Mike Perry wants to make his upcoming bare-knuckle fight against Eddie Alvarez look easy. Mike versus Eddie goes down at BKFC 56 this Saturday. Speaking of MMA fighting, Perry said, I've been thinking about it on one side. I'm like, how does this little guy think he's even going to have a chance in there with me? But it never matters. I believe if God puts someone across from me, you've got to watch out. They've got a chance too. I'm going to be looking to be perfect in there and touch him. Hurt him good with every shot that I hit him with. I'm going to make it count. I'm going to make a point with the way I'm going after him. I'm saying I want this to be it for him. I want to be the one that he fights last. I want to end it for him and show him the door. That means I've got to really go after him, and I've got to put the pain on him and make him feel it. I want to knock him unconscious in front of the crowd and give the people the show they want to see. It's a nice plus because he's been a champion in 3 different organizations, but I kind of feel like he's sloppy seconds for me because Conor McGregor already did it to him. I've just got to repeat it. I've got to do that same thing to him. I'm going to put the pressure on him, punch him in the face and knock him down. I don't know how many times he's going to get up. We'll see. It's just facts are facts. I'm much more of a puncher than he is. I'm much more of a brawler than he is. There's not a lot of technical standpoints that he has that he can utilize to gain any ground in this fight. He can try to run. He can try to hide. He can try to keep his guard up and try to make me punch his hard spots like his forehead or his elbows. But the thing is, I'm not going to stop punching him. If those are the spots he's giving me, I'll break through them. I'll break them down, and I plan to dismantle Eddie Alvarez. I want to make it look easy. I want it to look perfect in there. When I do put this power on him, we'll see if his head breaks up my hands. I think I'm better at punching bare knuckle than I was in my first fight, so I think I squeeze my fist nice and tight, and when I shove it down his face, it's just simple. Eddie Alvarez believes he will be too much for Mike Perry at BKFC 56. He says Mike is too slow. Speaking to Middle Easy, Eddie said Mike's tough as hell. A lot of people say Mike don't move his head. Mike don't do this. He makes up for a lot of the lack of his stuff with toughness. His grit, his will, that kind of stuff. He cleans it up with that. But when you're going against another fighter like myself who has all that, and all them boxes are checked, then you're going to have to rely on your skill and your game plan, and something more than just grit and will to get you by. He's too slow. I'm going to hit him too much. I respect Mike Perry and what he does and his resilience, but I'm going to hit him too much, too often, and too hard. If he don't stop fighting, I think the ref's going to stop him from fighting. Chito Vera is confident that he will finish Sean O'Malley in their upcoming fight at UFC 299. He says he plans to make Sean quit. Chito went on to say, I beat the out of him and walk away with a bag of cash and the belt. I really believe I'm going to make him quit. I really believe I'm going to make him just be a shell of himself and just kick his ass. Almost like beg me to stop kind of thing. He's really good at catching you coming in, but at the level of striking that someone like Aljamain is, head in the middle just swinging left and right, not even seeing the target, that's a very poor low-level striking game. Sterling's so good of an athlete and a very good wrestler that he managed to figure it out, how to just go like a zombie and get a hold of the leg. With me, it's different. I'm making math in my head in there. He's a very talented guy. He can fight in everything, but I said it before and I'll say it again. He won't keep up in a hard fight. He's a guy that moves well, and he plans to use his athleticism, and I'm going to make him fight. He will have to face me. I'll be ready, I'll be prepared. I just know that the moment we start fighting, I know everything I've been through, so I'm going to get that belt. I'm going to go through him, I'm going to stop him, and I'm going to be a world champion. Tom Aspinall discusses potentially defending his heavyweight title against Ciryl Gane. Tom says he'd rather fight John Jones or Stipe Miocic.
We're going to fight each other, obviously, at some point in the next, before it's over. As I said, ideally right now, I'd like to test myself against one of the 2 guys who I massively looked up to for years. But, mate, I think it's pretty obvious that I'm willing to fight Ciryl Gane. I've called him out about 50 times at this point. I've been to Paris to watch. I went to his home city, mate, to watch his event, and he still turned me down. I've done countless interviews saying his name, and he's literally come out saying that he won't fight me. So I don't know. Like, I'm not saying I won't fight him, not at all. But right now, I'd rather fight Jones or Stipe. But if I have to fight him, absolutely no issue, mate. I'll take him out. I've got a long way to go yet, mate. I've got a long way to go. I don't think I've completed the game yet. When I go down to one of the best heavyweights to ever do it, if not the best, that's when it'll be incredible. Right now, I've got an interim title. I'm basically #1 contender at this point for the real title, and I'm coming after it, mate. I'm in a really good spot right now, mentally, physically, and everything like that, but by no means am I satisfied. No means. I've still got plenty of work to do.
Chito Vera takes aim at Sean O'Malley over his failed drug test a while back. Now, this took place in 2019. USADA released an official statement on the matter saying O'Malley, 25, tested positive for Overeem as a result of an out-of-competition urine samples he provided on August 6, 2019 and August 12, 2019. O'Malley accepted a 6-month suspension. This is what he had to say about the positive test in an interview with the Schmo.
3 weeks before the fight, I tested for something called Overeem.
How'd that get into your system?
That's the question. It's happened actually. 3 of the Clemson football players that are signing with the NFL.
True.
It happened with a ton of triathletes or older ladies, just like in their 30s, like running their testing for the same thing.
Tainted subs from somewhere.
It's gotta be from something, because even the scientists, they look at my levels of how much I'm testing for, and they're saying there's no way he took anything. He's not benefiting from this at all.
In an interview with Michael Bisping, Chito thinks the whole situation could have been a bigger deal than O'Malley portrayed. Chito suggests O'Malley potentially did intentionally cheat and is testing positive because he's trying to clean himself before the fight. Chito said, "I read a lot about health and how to get better. What type of foods. That's what I really dislike, and I would like to punch cheaters in the face, because you could do it the right way if you live your life right. If you're looking for easier ways or like shortcuts, you won't make it." I mean, talking about that, this guy already tested positive before. I mean, was it nothing? I don't know. That's why our first fight got canceled. He tested positive a few times, and they call it micro. It's a little thing, but that little thing could be because you were cleaning yourself, or because you're an idiot and don't know how to read the ingredients. Alistair Overeem doesn't think Alex Pereira will last as the UFC light heavyweight champion for long. Overeem warns Alex that when the light heavyweights start to figure him out, he will get destroyed. Speaking to TalkSport, Overeem said he's interesting. Do I see him as a champion? No. I think at this moment, they have difficulty figuring him out, but the moment they figure him out, they are going to destroy him, and that will be a tough time for him. I think he's excellent in the striking department, but his jiu-jitsu and his grappling are not there. He's so good in the striking department, other fighters are unable to take him down. The moment they figure him out striking-wise, it'll be difficult for him. And that's going to wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. For daily MMA news and content, subscribe to Full Mount MMA and click the bell icon to be notified when we post videos. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. The first one's from Nate Marks. It says, "I am old enough to remember when John Jones would call people gay in Instagram comment sections." The second one's from Zach H420. It says, "MVP versus Kevin Holland is a fight I never knew I needed until now." And the final one says, "Dana's biggest pet peeve is when fighters show up solely to survive and not engage. This is the exact reason Dylan will never get signed." Those were the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured in the next one, all you have to do is comment down below. And if you missed yesterday's news, click the video on screen right now to get caught up.